Hey, Scott Leonard, Gomiodu Drones. Today we're going to get into the Pixhawk sensor and ESC calibration. Let's get started. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We'll be programming and calibrating the ESC and the sensors of the Pixhawk autopilot module. And we do that using Q ground control. And we'll look here and we go up here to the Q icon in the upper left-hand corner of the screen of Q ground control, and we are going to select vehicle configuration. And from there, we go ahead and we plug in or connect the Pixhawk autopilot module to the laptop via USB cable. So while it makes its connection, the first screen that shows up is the summary screen, and we have all green lights because I have previously programmed it. Now, the ESC controllers are underneath the power configuration tab, and we go down to the bottom and it shows ESC, PWM, minimum and maximum calibration. Now there's a warning. It says that the propellers must be removed prior to performing the procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the propellers. I'm not sure why that is, if it's more for safety or that there's nothing on here and it allows for the calibration to be done more accurately. Not sure, but we're going to go ahead and follow through with that warning and remove these propellers. Okay, we have the propellers removed. As you can see, we're connected. The next step is here on the computer screen, there is a calibrate button, which we will go ahead and select that, and it says ESB calibration. Props must be removed. A second warning, so it must be important. Performing the calibration, this will take a few seconds. And it says calibration complete. You can disconnect your battery now if you like. I'm going to go through that again because I don't think I'm going to skip. Connect the battery now and calibration will begin. Okay, so I didn't move fast enough for that. So I have connected the battery. And now it is performing the calibration. Complete. I can disconnect your battery now if you like. Now, one takeaway from this is if you are not quick enough to connect the battery to the drone, it will still proceed with the ESC calibration. I don't know if it's complete. It says it's complete, but as you saw that I redid that to make sure. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave the battery connected because our next step is to go down here to the actuators, actuator config, and we're going to go to the PWM main screen or tab on this screen. The main is, if you can see over here on the Pixhawk module itself, is on the back side. Main 1, 2, 3, and 4 are what we're using. I believe that there's up to 8 main connections. We're using 4 because this is a quadcopter. We're hooked up. We've got 4. This main screen of the actuator outputs allows you to configure. Main 1 is motor 1. Main 2 is motor 2. Main 3, main 4, motor 4. And that's where this is set up on the Q ground control actuators page. So those are set up. You go over here to the motors in the upper left-hand corner, and the direction is set for the motors. As you can see, motor 1 and motor 2 has the check mark on the counterclockwise rotation, and then motors 3 and 4 do not. They rotate in a clockwise rotation. And it gives you a nice little screen right here, or picture of how the motors are supposed to rotate in their positions, given the fact that the drone is facing up. Now, the next step I'm going to do is to confirm that the motors are properly connected, that motor one spins when it gets a signal from the Pixhawk autopilot, and so forth for the other two motors, or three motors. And to help in this, I'm going to put some blue painter's tape on the shaft of each motor to make like a flag. It's hard to know if the motor is actually rotating, which direction it's rotating, without putting some type of visual indicator onto the motor shaft. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we have the motor's shafts tape on it, and on these sliders again we show another warning to ensure that the propellers are removed. So they are. So I slide the slide over, and now we can go ahead and spin these motors by sliding the sliders up and down. So I'm not going to go very fast. This isn't a speed test. This is a rotation test for me, and just the fact that when a signal is sent from the main one, it goes to motor one, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and click this slider up. Motor one actuates, and it is spinning. I saw the flag. It is spinning in a counterclockwise motion. Fantastic. We will go back here to motor two. And it's working, and it is also spinning in a counterclockwise rotation. We will go to motor three. And it is spinning in clockwise. And finally, motor four. Oh, we have a problem here, possibly. Nope, it is rotating in a clockwise fashion as well. Yes. Okay, great. So the ESC controllers have been calibrated. The motors have been assigned, and their rotations have been confirmed. So the next step is to calibrate the sensors. Okay, to start the sensor calibration, we must connect the laptop Q ground control to the drone using the telemetry device. There is also another one on the drone itself. So I have that plugged in. Now we're going to the battery to their system, and it will automatically make that connection to the computer via the telemetry device. Okay, we're going to go up here to sensors and gyroscope. It is on a level surface. We're going to leave it still, and we're going to click OK to start the calibration. And as we can see on the screen, green is good. Calibration for the gyroscope is completed. The next is going to be the accelerometer. For the accelerometers, we're going to have to place the vehicle on all six sides on a level surface and hold it still for a few seconds. While we're watching this computer screen, we will know when it's complete by the green box around the side that we're testing. So now it gives you the option to rotate if your Pixhawk autopilot module is not placed with the arrow facing in the direction of travel. This is the spot where you would tell it how to rotate it so that it knows where forward is. So I have it configured forward. We're going to leave it that way, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. The first is incomplete. It's sitting still. Done. The next is to upside down, and as a tip, you do not have to do these in order. Complete. Now, on its front, it will sense when it is in the position and make its calibration. And we will go on its side. And we will flip it over and go on to the other side. And that is complete. The compass calibration is a little tricky. You have to go outside, away from any metal structures or any electrical EM producing items. And you have to, again, like it did on the gyroscopes, each of the 6 sides, hold it, you will get a beep. You then rotate it counterclockwise on that side until you get a double beep. That way you know that the calibration for that side is complete. I even walk away from the computer, so I can't even see the screen, and I don't have anybody helping me right now to tell me by looking at the screen. So I listen for the audibles from the Pixhawk itself. And you go to the next side, you hold it until it beeps. You rotate it counterclockwise, double beep, that side's done. And you just run through the 6 sides, and in the very end, you'll get that little melody beeping as well that tells you that whole compass calibration has been completed. So we're going to go ahead and step out and get that done. Okay, today we're outside, away from any electromagnetic interference, and we're going to calibrate the compass on the Pixhawk build. And to do that, I have to begin the process using Q ground control, and I'll get feedback from the speaker that is attached to the Pixhawk module itself. So I'm going to go ahead and start the Q ground control compass calibration. Be right back. So to begin, we have to hold it, and it beeps, and then we spin it in a counterclockwise direction until we get a double beep. Now that calibration is done. We'll hold it upside down, and then we will spin it counterclockwise till we get a double beep and the calibration is complete. Next, we will have it pointing on its side, and again, counterclockwise spin. Now we'll do front, we'll do back. And now we'll do front. The single beep means that it's in the right configuration, and the double beep is given after that side's calibration is complete, and then it gets the double beep there. Okay, and that concludes the compass calibration for the Pixhawk build. The next video I do is going to be actually flying the drone freehand using the controller, and then follow up with a flight that has been pre-programmed on the Q ground control, and we'll see how that goes. All right, until next time, thanks for watching.